Recently, you helped lead one of our MXO programs, Bill, and one of the most interesting and thought-provoking things that came from that MXO session was chunking. Can you tell us a little bit about chunking and where it originated from?
Chunking, I mean, just to explain to people, is what we're talking here is often we have long-term goals, and in times of uncertainty, those long-term goals seem a long way away. You know, it's difficult to connect where I am now with what I'm trying to achieve. So chunking is a process used often by psychologists and often in sports psychologists to actually shorten the runway to where the person is and to what they're trying to achieve. So to give them a refined sense of purpose. Sense of purpose is very important in motivation. And if your goal's too far away or you're too disconnected from your goal, sometimes you're unable to sustain that motivation. So chunking means actually, we might call it chunking down. Chunking down is chunking down the time horizon to achieve a particular goal. So for instance, COVID-19, you know, people in January are set yearly objectives. Then in March, the whole business world sort of blows up in their face, in some cases, okay? Are those goals that are set for you to achieve by December still motivational for you? Are you still like to achieve them, or have you been kind of railroaded off them? So chunking down when you're working with a team or when you're working with individuals would be saying, actually don't worry about those longer term goals. Let's just worry about what is important for you to achieve in the next 2 weeks or in the next 2 months, okay? And what happens there is someone then can renew their focus. They're less worried about that long journey and they're more worried about, okay, I've now got some clarity on what I need to do in the next 2 months, two months or 2 weeks. I can then think about how I'm going to do that. That would be what we call process goals. And I've then got a renewed sense of purpose about what I'm doing, so my motivation is enhanced. And I also get to feel I'm making an impact. So I feel I'm really making a difference. Whereas actually for those longer term goals, maybe I'm not because they're just so far away. So I've got a renewed sense of purpose and I'm getting a sense of impact. I enhance my motivation and I'm much more likely to achieve what I'm trying to achieve.
So following on from that, Bill, what are your top 3 tips on chunking or chunking down as you call it?
Yeah, well I think the most important thing, number one, is establish a time horizon. So, you know, what are we talking about? Is for this particular person, is it actually the next week that's going to be important? Or, you know, have we got enough certainty or clarity that we know what the next month is going to be? So establish the time horizon. Secondly, establish the goal with them about what does good performance look like in that time horizon. So let's say we're saying 2 weeks. This is what I would expect you to achieve in these 2 weeks. Or this is what we as a team need to achieve within these 2 weeks. And then go down another level in how are we going to achieve that? So you've gone from what's the time horizon, what do we want to achieve, what processes are we going to put in place to ensure that we achieve what we're trying to achieve.